Hello everyone, this is Aaron of the Amigos with another Amigos live stream, sort of. We had technical difficulties when we recorded the show on FA-18 Interceptor, and due to some other circumstances I'm forced to record this one solo this week. We may come back with a team-up version, but I wanted to get something out close to the podcast. So you're going to be seeing me playing the game here. I've had a little extra time to practice, and so hopefully I won't totally embarrass myself. If you're not familiar with FA-18 Interceptor, it's a game from 1988. Came on one disc and ran on the original chipset. Quite a neat game. It ranks very highly in a lot of Amiga best of lists, and it was designed by a fella named Bob Ditterman. Ditterman was also responsible for the tremendous arcade game Discs of Tron. So if you've ever played that in the arcade, you understand what I'm talking about there. Great game. I've always dug. So we're going to just take this thing out on the first mission here, which is a mission that I've actually almost completed. So you're treated with this opening screen here when you do a mission. It gives you the particulars, and then you enter the countermeasure, which is the game's anti-piracy code, which thankfully has been removed. Just enter here on one. I'll put 1, 2, 3 in, and we are off. This gives you the general directions here on the mission. Now this right here, I'm going to go with the standard FA-18. This effect here just blows me away. Just beautiful, coming like from a satellite view down into your cockpit. Just an unbelievable tour de force of graphic power on a machine that's not known for its ability to render in 3D. Just a beautiful I love the effect. Now again, I am a neophyte at this game. I have a basic understanding of what I'm doing, so we're going to give this a shot. My main difficulty, well, there's two difficulties. I've never successfully landed, which there you go. And then I have a hell of a time was getting lost. I know there's a I've found out from looking over the keys on this thing that there's a I think as a shortcut when you hit God, what is it? I can't remember now. Nuts, I can't remember. There's supposed to be a way to get to the nearest tower. Gosh, let me try to think about what that was. But this first mission, we're going to go out and just try to find these MiGs that are out here. I have recently discovered the turbo, which I love, the super thrust there, which you see that little yellow line underneath the indicator there. That means I'm in super thrust mode if you tap F10 twice. I'm personally playing this with the keyboard. You're supposed to be able to use the joystick, but I've not. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't know if there's some kind of key combination that activates it or whatnot, but I don't think I'd use it anyway for this, because there's so much you have to do with your hands that I don't think I would actually bother playing with the joystick at all. I'm not a skilled pilot, as I said. You'll see me basically not do any of the normal things that someone would normally do. I don't use any of the rudders or anything like that on the oh gosh, what are those things called? The rudders left and right I never use. I'm sure that would probably help. I'm just understanding how to target and go through my targets and whatnot, and radar and that sort of thing. So you can see that I'm just heading towards the blips. I know these guys generally hang out up here around this aircraft carrier, so it's going to kind of go up here. I know we're at 40-mile range here, and here we go. Now, one thing I learned in the last game this I played was that You have to target these guys for them to identify. So I'm going to try to get it real close before I turn my targeting on. And then we'll see if we can knock one of these suckers out of the sky. Now, you're not allowed to shoot at these guys until you've been shot at, which that shouldn't be a problem because they've blown me out of the sky a multitude of times. This game does a good job with the with a good sense of speed to a certain degree. There we go. Now we can head back. The one thing this game doesn't have going for it, and it's a limitation of the hardware. I mean, if you consider when this game came out, this was a real revelation on the Amiga, and oh god, they're on me. Evasive maneuvers. I'm gonna there it is. Let's head to the bridge. Let's see if we can lose one here. The again, the realm of 3D, especially flight simulators, this was sort of it wasn't wholly new ground in '88. Obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator and a multitude of other ones that were predecessors to this one. But on the Amiga, this was a real. We'll look around here. This was a real different sort of animal, and the smoothness of it. The Dinnerman obviously had quite a vision, and I read an interview with him where he said he'd been aching to do a 3D game, and when he was asked, okay, hold on a second here, let's give this a shot. I can't go under it, but we're gonna go near it. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it so much. We'll cut it hard here and see if we can. I'm sick of running from these suckers. I might be trying to start taking a sucker out here. We'll see if we can turn around and grab one of these suckers. Yeah, I say sucker a lot when I'm in combat, man. But Dinnerman said he was licking his chops to do a 3D project. They approached him with this, and he was like, the perfect animal for my experimentation. And he jumped in feet first. Obviously, Top Gun was an inspiration. You could hear from that little ditty at the beginning of the game that sounded an awful lot like the notorious Top Gun theme. This game's not about the music. The music, that little piece is okay. It's nothing special. But I've read that if you have less than 512, you won't hear that. But if that's all you're out, that's not too bad. That's quite amazing that this is an original chipset game. It makes me wonder what could have been approached with the flight simulator with the AGA chipset. With a little bit more advanced, the ability to render more ground stuff, more detail. Oh gosh. Basically, when they shoot a missile, I just sort of hit a flare, and it doesn't ever work. Although I will say I've been blown away many times before this, so I feel like I'm at least, or wrecked, which I also would do occasionally. So I feel like I've got a good thing going here. So I'm going to try to target one of these guys. Let's see what we can do here. This was published by Electronic Arts back in the day. EA, as they're known now. I always differentiate Electronic Arts from EA because it just seems different to me. The games they did before Madden took off were a whole different kettle of fish than what they do now. I mean, they do a lot of good stuff now, but it's because they're the publisher effectively, so they run most of the market. But there was a time where their name really stood for something artistic, as opposed to just like, NBA 36 or Madden 28. And I like sports games, and I like sports, but it's so repetitive and pointless. But I guess they're big sellers, and people keep buying them. I will say I like the Madden on the Amiga is a decent little football game. I always thought. I thought it was a pretty fun game. Anyway, I digress. You can see I'm not the most apt pursuer all the time. Getting this guy to hone in the view here. Here we go. Fire. Gotta get him. Yeah. I can't believe it. Eat death. Alright. Wow. Okay. If I die now, I don't feel quite as stupid. That's a rare kill shot for me. Unfortunately, I gotta get his buddy. It's a battle of wits. Unfortunately, I'm a witless fool. You know, the only thing I have to equate this on the Amiga was, again, I played a lot of Wings, and I know you're probably thinking Wings. Come on, that was a biplane, you know, that you flew around with no controls to speak of, and it's true. But this has, I mean, the fellas that recommended this to us were quite wise. I can't recall who it was, but this is a nice transitional piece from a very simple flight simulator like Wings. This doesn't have too many controls. They're pretty intuitive, you know. Like, it didn't take me too long to memorize most of the controls. And any flight simulator you play is going to have the sort of same characteristics of flight, all right? Because that's just the way flight is. Obviously, in Wings, you don't have a targeting computer or missiles. It's all with your gun. You know, bearing down on the target is the same philosophy that it is in that game. So that's so some of the stuff you can take with you. I know this plane doesn't stall as easily as the plane in Wings does, and you can go from ground level to space real quick. And like I said, I've read a couple places now after the fact that I don't know if it's just I wouldn't call it an option, but gravity has no effect when you go straight up, and you can just go as fast as you want. Oh, help me. They're blowing my plane away piece by piece here. Whoa. Come on, get control. Okay. I'll give us another whirl here. I swear to you, I'm not drunk, officer. But, oh, man. I'd like to get one off on this guy. It'd be neat to see some cloud cover. Again, that's asking a lot of a game from '88, but like I said, if this game has a drawback, games like this never aged that well, and it's on the basis that they were very primitive graphically, but it feels good, you know. It's funny that 2D games always age better than 3D games, and I guess we've been spoiled. I mean, I don't know what it all comes down to playability. This one plays quite well, but anytime you play with these old flight simulators, the stark landscapes and the cloudless skies and whatnot, or just the blue for water, there's no real effects or anything. That's you know, it's just eye candy, but it does help, you know, get you into the spirit of the game. Pretty cruise down here. Fire it up here. Might be time to take this thing back to the barn. So this does not make for if you're watching along with me play. This is not a interesting viewing moment as you see a screen split between blue and kind of other blue. It's not. There's no enemies. There's no clouds. There's no ground clutter of any sort. So let's try to take this thing back toward land here. We'll go to this little island. This game was supposed to have an extra air base on it, but the due to time constraints, it was never completed. So one of your on one of your sort of demo missions, you can start in basically the woods or nowhere. I mean, you're just basically in a void. Consulting the map here. Okay. Yeah, there it is. We're gonna try to ram into it violently. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, and there it was. Oh, man. Well, since we've got a little time, let's go ahead. Something I've never successfully done was actually land the plane. So let's go back here. Let me get out of this. And let me hit this real quick here. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to try, I'm just going to take this one up and see if I can, first of all, I'm going to see if I can successfully find the airport that I just took off from. And then I'm going to see if I can successfully land the plane on the same runway. I have seldom done the first and never done the second. We're going to take the Falcon out this time. I love this. Here we go. Okay. That's great. Okay, here we go. I sadly have never noted the differences between two aircraft. There may be armaments. Honestly, I've never checked. You know, or maybe top speed or something like that. It's nice that they give you a choice. Okay, we're just going to take this thing up and get to the point where I don't stall and hit the ground. Theoretically. Come on. And we're going to wheel this thing around here and see if I can land at the exact moment I just took off. Yes, I know it's bland, but I have never landed, and I've never tried this, and so, what the hell? Yes, there's the sun. We're getting a little altitude. You can see it shoots up like a rocket. Okay. Let's swing around here and try to make our way back to the landing bay. Okay, so there it is on radar. We're just going to head to there as quick as we can and see if we can drop this kite on the ground without getting killed. This game does feature a few bits of landscape, including the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, and the EA headquarters building is also in the game, so I suppose you could shoot missiles at it. I don't know if you could destroy it or not, but it's still sort of amusing. Okay, we are going to give this a whirl. I think we see it up ahead. Okay, that's water. It'll come down here. I've got no idea what the optimum landing altitude is. I don't know if this airplane has any sort of brakes. If they do, I don't know the hotkey for them. In fact, assuming that F1 is, I'm hoping that means engines off, because I don't know if there's if there's a turn off engines key either, to be honest with you. Okay, let me get a little more altitude here before we put in the drink. I'd like to at least be able to see the airport before I die. Okay. Come on, go up. Oh, okay, we're over 1,000 feet. I was getting worried. Jeez. Okay, there it is. Okay, well that's something anyway. We found the airport again. I've got 2 lanes to choose from, which means I'm not going to say which one I'm going to land on because I don't know. Let's tone this thing. Let's pull the throttle back on this thing a little bit. Turn it over. Again, I'm not using any flaps or rudders here. We're just going to Okay. No, no, no. Okay, get down. This is it. I'm not making another run. Get down. The other way. Oh, son of a gun. Oh, no, don't stall. No. Okay, I'm fully throttling it back. I hope I got enough runway. Is it going to be... I guess this is it. Slow it down. Slow it down. Yeah. Yes. I think I did it. Success. I've earned a partial 1/3 of a feather of a wing, folks. Well, that's going to wrap her up. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, this is Aaron from the Amigos, and we'll see you next time. Adios.